Listen, SB with the truth, it might pierce your mind. And JP hit you with reality all the time. The way to keep it all the way 100, it should be a crime. Sports, news, politics, on the show you will find. Conversation grown, opinions they not alone. Savannah be the home, they coming straight for your dome. It is what it is, gonna be what it's gonna be. You are rocking with the Sean Brown Show with JP.
That's right, folks, from the East Coast to the West Coast and all around the United States of America, from South Dakota and North Dakota down to Texas. This is the Sean Brown Show. We're live in Savannah, Georgia, where it's a bit chilly, just a bit chilly. We're live here, Facebook Live. See you guys on tuning in, YouTube, speakingthemic.com, the TuneIn app, WQTS Radio. What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday. Hope everybody had a great week and is having a great week so far. Enjoyed your long weekend celebrating MLK Day. We got a funky camera angle here going on here. We're going to have to fix that during our little break. But we'll work the best we got with it and have a good time. JP's here in studio. I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. What's going on, bro?
Man, chilling, bro. It's another day, another dollar, man. I'm happy to be here.
I feel you. We will see head coach Evans Davis rolling in here shortly, joining us here in studio. But lots has gone on since Monday and over the weekend that we're going to have to talk about today. We got an hour to knock this stuff out. So we're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about politics, as always. We're going to talk about current events, what's going on, what's big in the media. We're going to talk about Aziz Ansari and his, just as JP used to say back in the day, people going too far with the Me Too movement. Well, it's happened. It's happened. The witch hunt started, and it was all wrong. But we're going to talk about that on the air. And then we'll have our Stop the Bus for the week. We weren't here Monday for the holiday. WQTS likes to play mixes during national holidays, so we weren't here on Monday. We were all in the local Savannah, St. Patrick's, all the local MLK parade. I'm tongue-tied today.
What's wrong with you, bro?
I'm tongue-tied today, man. I can't get my words out. I don't know what's wrong with me. I might need to get some water.
Take that rubber band out your mouth.
Ah, man. It's hard. It's hard doing a radio show with a tie on. I got to get ready for this interview later today.
Come on, man.
But hope everybody's having a great and glorious Wednesday. Looking forward to the weekend. Tomorrow is a national holiday. I hope you guys are aware of that and are prepared to send all gifts and cards and whatever you want to send, because tomorrow is my birthday right here in Savannah, Georgia. I don't know what I'm going to do for my birthday yet, though. I'll be 32 years old. What should I do, JP?
Man, you old, bro.
You're older than me.
Yeah, but I don't look it.
Oh, see, this guy.
See, that's how it work out, man, boy.
Blessed to see 32 years of age tomorrow. So shouts out to Mom Dukes, who had me 32 years ago tomorrow. 8 hours of labor.
That big old head you got.
Hey, it is what it is.
On your shoulders.
Bald is beautiful.
Pause.
Bald is beautiful. Man, it was a busy week in the NFL over the weekend. The Minnesota Vikings had probably one of the greatest plays in the history of football.
I don't know if it was one of the greatest. It looks like a regular play to me.
It was a miracle.
A rookie mistake.
It was a miracle in Minnesota this past weekend, Sunday in the playoffs. If you guys missed it, you missed what was probably one of the biggest shockers outside of the Iron Bowl run back off the field goal. That's a good one, too, in football.
I think that Iron Bowl. Well, then you got to talk about the Tennessee Miracle. The Tennessee Titans back in the day.
That is true.
Wycheck. You got to talk about that one.
Miracle in the Meadowlands.
Dwight Clark, the catch. There's been a lot of moments, man, but I don't know if that Minnesota thing would be a significant moment. And it was very much a lack of judgment on the defense. If he would have played it straight, we wouldn't be, Minnesota would be out right now.
Yeah, I agree. And there were so many people shocked to see the play that went down. But it is what it is. The game is over.
Yeah, we sit here and we say, what was he thinking? Like, all he had to do was wait for the guy to come down and make the play. It's almost like he tried to undercut him while he was in the air and completely missed.
Man, he hit the hit stick and went right on by it. That's
a glitch.
A pure
in a video game.
No, that was a pure Madden play. If you hit the hit stick early. If you hit the hit stick early, you're gonna miss, and you're gonna miss big time. And that's exactly what Marcus Williams did. But at the end of the day, congratulations to the Vikings to move on to play the Eagles on Sunday. At 6:40 p.m.
He's a rookie, and it's gonna haunt him until they come back for training camp next year. So.
Do they bring him back?
Yes, absolutely.
Ah.
He's a great player. You know, one lap of judgment. God, who am I talking about?
Marcus Williams.
New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans is a great team. That they'll be back next year. So yeah, they'll be back. You keep him. He's a rookie. I can understand if he's been in the league for a while and you make a mistake like that, then yeah, you might want to try to talk about making some moves or something possibly. But he's a rookie. It's a rookie mistake.
So
Learn
who do you
from
take?
it and move on.
Who do you take in this matchup? Vikings Eagles on Sunday on Fox, 6:40 p.m. from Philly. By the way,
Man, I do not know that if there ever was a game that I could not decide, it's this one. Both of these teams, we got Nick Foles and Case Keenum.
and I know we have a Philly fan tuning in right now on our Facebook Live feed. So I already know, Shark. I already know you want the Eagles to win this one. I see you, brother. I see you. But I don't know, man. It's going to be tough for the Vikings. They're both playing in cold temperatures. So they're playing home field essentially.
See that's the thing. I don't think Minnesota's going to have to adjust to playing in Philadelphia. That's cold. You play in a dome.
They played all last year outdoors.
Who did?
Minnesota. They played at the University of Minnesota Stadium outdoors last year.
True enough.
So majority of their players are used to playing in cold. I mean, it's Minnesota. It's cold. Oh, sorry. Let me say it the right way. It's Minnesota. Minnesota. So
either way, that's gonna be good. That's a toss up.
It's gonna be fun to watch.
I don't know about that one, but I know about this other one though.
I disagree with you. I know you're a Patriots fan, so you want to see the Patriots beat the Jaguars, but I think the Jaguars are coming for the upset. As we saw earlier in the week, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are already active in getting stuff happening. As you saw, Leonard Fournette was in an accident in Jacksonville, so the Patriots are already working their magic. And
man, is that a shot? Really?
It is. It was a shot towards Leonard Fournette. They tried to take the man out before the game even started.
Really?
You just caught that, huh?
That's shot, man. That's shot, man.
But we do have the NFC and the AFC Championship going on this Sunday. You guys are going to want to be tuned in for that. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have all the info for you guys. We need to get Shark in here with us one day on the air, man, since he's a free agent now.
Man, yeah, of course.
We need to get that done, man. We need to get that done. 47 degrees at kickoff for the Vikings-Eagles game on Sunday. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold, but that's warm for wintertime in Philly. 47, that's easy.
Yeah, that's pretty warm.
But I want to see the Jaguars take it, not just to see the Patriots lose, but for all those Jaguars fans that sat through so many struggle years, and the struggle was real, and I mean real for a long time. I mean, I remember days we would come to work at Armstrong and Chad Jackson would just say, "Oh, yeah, we're the Jacksonville Jaguars. We kick field goals." Remember those days? Yep.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It is true.
Yeah, you got a point.
I was trying to wait for Evans to get here to talk about the NBA, and I think we're going to stall a little bit just for Evans because I really want to talk about what's going on in the NBA right now.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he's got to say.
The tears are flowing. The emotions are running high in the NBA. We're going to talk about that when Evans gets here, but I do want to talk about this situation with Paul Pierce, Isaiah Thomas, and this tribute. They have blown this thing completely out of the water. They're now saying that they're not going to play Isaiah Thomas's tribute pregame. Well, they were doing it pregame. They weren't even doing it during the game. They were doing it during a pregame for the Celtics, for the Cavaliers lineups. They were going to do it.
And I see that's different. If you give Isaiah pregame, like right before starting lineups, you give him his video tribute. That is acceptable. However, you got to give Paul. If I was Celtics, I would have gave Paul all of post game. I would have let them play the game out. Then the game is over, win or lose. Okay, whatever. The Celtics lose. Okay, if they win, even better. And then you give Paul Pierce all of that time. Like I thought they should have gave Kobe's retirement post game. They gave it to him at halftime.
Yeah, they did, but they did Kobe highlights throughout the whole game.
Well, Kobe, like
you
guys
Pierce
said
wants.
last week,
Paul
Pierce is not Kobe.
Well, see, Paul Pierce was at Kobe's retirement, so he to the Celtics, Paul Pierce is Kobe.
That's what I was saying.
So he wants, and he's getting what he wants. They're going to have highlights of his career throughout the entire game, which is great. He's got a lot of highlights, so it's going to be fun to see. But the Isaiah Thomas tribute has been nixed, and Isaiah Thomas himself came out and said, "Look, that's Paul's night. Let him get his shine." And
that's being humble.
What got me, Rajon Rondo said it the best though. He said, "What did Isaiah Thomas do to deserve a tribute?" He took the team to the conference championships. That's what we celebrate now? We put conference titles on the rafters?
I mean, you do get a banner for that.
Rajon Rondo was savage with it. Rajon Rondo, by the way, was part of the championship team with the Celtics when Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen.
So that's what I'm saying. That those guys deserve much recognition because they brought a championship to the city. The most Isaiah did was take you to the conference finals where you lost.
True.
So, I mean, Rondo does have a point. However, where were the Celtics before Isaiah got there?
You're right. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I mean, the Celtics were still – they were competitive, but they weren't dominant.
Relevant.
But at the end of the day, and I said this the other day to somebody who asked me the question about this Isaiah Thomas situation. Isaiah Thomas's position was a situation last season. It was, and I hate to say convenient situation because of how it was, because it was a sister and everything. But it was a convenient situation for the Celtics to make PR off of, and that's what made it so big. If they had not been in that situation and they had made that run, would they still be getting so much talk about a tribute video?
No.
Exactly. I agree. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not happening. So
people remember success, not failure.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call a Eastern Conference championship loss a failure.
No, I wouldn't call it that either, but I would call if you went there and you didn't make the playoffs or you got bounced in the first round, that's failure. You don't get tributes for that. But, they're not going to. Well, if they did it for Isaiah Thomas, are they going to do it for Jay Crowder too?
Oh, come on.
Look, they were both part of that team. They were both part of that team that went to the conference finals. They both played big parts in the Celtics' success that year. So you gonna do a tribute video for Jay Crowder too?
Well, 1 3-pointer. Well, yeah, he had 6 threes in one year.
They'll show
a 3-pointer every media timeout.
Hey, he was a defensive player. Come on, man.
Jay Crowder, highlight reel. Yeah, right.
They were on the same team. I'm saying. Come on, and both of them play for Cleveland now. So if you got to acknowledge one, you got to acknowledge the other.
That's funny. Highlight reel for Jay Crowder.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, let's look at the scores from last night from around the NBA.
See, you're being ugly, man. You're being real ugly right now.
That's hilarious though. Highlight reel for Jay Crowder. The Orlando Magic and the Minnesota Timberwolves played last night. 108-102 was the final score. Magic win it. We're gonna have to talk about that game a little bit more once we see whether Evans Davis is gonna be in the building or not. In overtime, the Pelicans over the Celtics 116-113. The Nuggets beat the Mavericks 105-102. The Trailblazers over the Suns wrapped it up 118-111 in the NBA last night. Let's go ahead and talk about this. We'll talk about the NBA. If Evans comes in later, we can get his 2 cents on it. Emotions are running high, and this is a twofold discussion. There's a lot of complaints about refereeing this year, and there is a lot of emotion and a lot of sensitivity going around the NBA right now. In the Magic Timberwolves matchup last night, you had a ball-out fight between Aaron Aflalo and one of the Minnesota Timberwolves players. I'm not going to mess up his name and try and say it. This is getting ridiculous. We're going to have another Malice in the Palace soon.
I don't even know why we even talk about that. Aflalo and that other dude. Aflalo averages 3.3 points a game. You ain't even got no business trying to start a fight with nobody. You ain't even relevant. Why are you over there trying to start something? Give me some buckets before you even – we don't even know your name. We even forgot you was on the Magic team. You ain't even doing nothing.
Well, Aflalo was ejected yesterday, 0 points and 0 for 2. It was in the second quarter, so of course he got ejected. But it was an all-out fist fight. Aflalo ended up being put in the headlock. Can you imagine?
Yeah, he got put in a headlock after he swung on, buddy.
He swung. I mean, he missed, but he swung big time. If he had connected the way he swung, that would have been ugly.
Man, listen, like I said, Aaron Aflalo is a non-mother factor. There you go. God, dog, where our engineer at?
But this has been a recurring theme across the NBA. This past weekend, you saw the situation with the Rockets and the Clippers. Chris Paul returning back to LA for the first time, and clearly some issues are arising out of from his departure. That we thought he just got traded. He got traded, right?
Yes.
There shouldn't be so many issues if you got traded just because you wouldn't sign a $200 million contract.
Well, he said it himself. He said he doesn't have animosity for that team. I mean, he's still friends. He was talking about DJ and and Wes and the rest of them in that interview he did after the game that he's still friends with them. So I don't see. I mean, tempers flare when you go back and you play a team that you used to play for. You know, there's always it doesn't matter who you are. But as far as like the after game stuff, trying to go to their locker room
Through a
and
hidden
everything,
tunnel?
through the back of the Staples
It's
Center.
hilarious.
Man, listen, did you watch Inside the NBA that night?
I did. It was
Charles
absolutely
Barkley
hilarious.
and Shaq really
They summed
cut it
up.
down to summed it up. There you go. This is very laughable.
Chris Paul is trying to beat me up.
Yeah, there's a police presence at our bus. Come on, man, get out of here.
It was epic. It was epic.
Now Gerald Green, on the other hand, he is kind of suspect. Now Gerald
'cause
Green,
Gerald
look
Green
like
is
he
about
will
it.
snap.
Gerald Green Gerald Green's about that life.
Gerald Green be throwing them signs after every 3-pointer he hit. Well, he might be about that life,
But here's
Sure.
my here's my argument in this situation that happened with the Clippers and Rockets game that happened Monday night. The NBA is investigating Trevor Ariza for the person that started everything. He's not. The person starting everything was Austin Rivers, and it's on camera.
yeah, but he started from the sideline.
It doesn't matter.
Come on, you can talk as much as you want on the sideline. Why you can't?
Not in today's NBA. You can't look at
Man.
D'Angelo Russell. He clapped and got technical fouled.
Oh, technical foul. Okay.
Austin Rivers is known to be a difference than everybody else. He's known to stand out. He's
He's the coach's son.
which that might be part of the problem.
He's the coach's son, and he been hooping. Let's put it that way. What happened last time they played Houston?
You're right.
Torched.
He got it in, but they say his personality is not. He's not a fun person to be around. Is what they're saying. Which is typical because they're all essentially at the end of the day, all these guys are coworkers. They might play on different teams, but they're all coworkers. They all play in the same league. They just play in different branches of. They play in different. They work in different offices.
If Austin Rivers helps me bring a championship to LA, you can act the way any way you want to act. Just don't cross me and embarrass our team. I don't care. You say what you want.
The day Austin Rivers brings a championship to the Clippers,
I said helps.
Will be
helps. I said helps bring a championship.
Austin Rivers gets a highlight tribute.
He's the head. No, he is part of the help. He helps bring the championship. But hey, look, we all sitting there acting like Austin Rivers ain't no good player. Y'all sleeping on the boy.
The kid can play. He's come a long way from when he first came in the league.
Absolutely.
When he first came in the league, he was garbage. But he can play now. He's found his nick. He knows what he's good at and getting it done. But at the end of the day, it's still there's a certain level of respect you have to have for other players. If you're not playing, you still have to have a certain level of respect for those guys that are playing. You could talk trash, but be respectful at the same time. That's just my 2 cents. Because if you can't get on the court and back up your talk, hush.
True, but he could back it up though.
Not in a boot. But I bet you he ran out of that stadium.
But when he's playing, he can back it up.
I bet you he ran out of that stadium knowing that boot.
I don't think he did.
There's
no proof of that.
So reportedly, the Clippers coaching staff was in a separate room when they heard everything going on in the locker rooms. When they came out and they rushed out because they heard all the noise, all they saw was Chris Paul getting pushed back into the hallway. This is the night after that they played a tribute video to Chris Paul.
I heard Chris Paul and James Harden were trying to be the voice of reason. That's what I heard.
Well, we're gonna see.
It's being investigated.
It leads to the second part of the discussion of all this emotional tension in the NBA between the referees making horrible calls, and it's not just in the NBA. I'm gonna talk about that when we talk about the Savannah State's game Monday. But between the NBA, the sensitive referees, as Coach Cassie Russell would say, and missing calls and the referees getting injured, and I've never seen something like this in a season. How often do you see referees get hurt in a basketball game? In an NBA game, I never saw Joey Crawford go down and say, "Oh, I can't ref anymore today." I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, injuries happen. It happens. I mean, stroke of bad luck. I don't know. Hey, look at Derrick Rose had 4 injuries. Do you think he planned on that to happen?
But he's not an official.
But he's human. He's human.
And I get that. That's understandable. But it's the situation is just crazy. There's supposed to be a meeting during the All-Star break about the officiating.
And think about it this way. What do those referees do? They run the sidelines, run the baselines. You know, who's not saying who's to say that a fan, and you know these fans nowadays are right there on the sideline.
True.
So who's to say, you know, a referee is just covering his, you know, covering where he's supposed to cover. He trips over and, you know, fractures something or trips over somebody's foot or something like that. Especially on the baseline, you got nothing but cameras there, camera equipment. Who's to say he doesn't fall and hit something or bust his head open or something like that? I mean, it's not likely. We don't see it all the time. We don't see it as much as player injuries, but it's possible.
It is possible. It is possible. I can agree with that. But the stark difference in the old school NBA referees that we've had in the past and the new referees that we have now, it's a big difference. The players can't communicate to these new referees. It's very interesting to see, even in the college level. I mean, you have referees that are turning their backs to players when they're trying to find out what did I do wrong? What did I do to get this call? In this Monday night game with Savannah State, you had just ridiculous calls, and I mean, and both sides. It's a difference if it's one way and one way calls, but both sides, terrible officiating. And I myself, I've been working in collegiate athletics for over a decade, and to see the kind of officiating that I've seen this season is crazy, just crazy. I mean, blatant blocks, blatant charges. They get them wrong. They're calling how do you miss a backcourt violation?
You're human.
Major. You're standing right over top of it, and the only excuse I was given for
the same way that referee missed that unsportsmanlike conduct in the Georgia-Alabama game.
Okay, exactly. But and when I asked, I asked a few sources that I have that work with officials, and their reason was, well, they're too close to the play. They're right on top of it. They
very
need to
possible.
get back. You can see more from a panoramic view than you can from a zoom shot.
See, that is a very good point, because it's I think the toughest call to make in basketball is the block or the charge. You know, and now you have that little semicircle where you have to have your feet outside of the circle.
That makes it easier.
No, but if you're too close to the play, you can't see the player's foot.
That's why we have review.
We don't have review at Savannah State.
Yes, we do.
Do you?
They went to it 4 times on Monday. As Savannah State Monday night beat Howard University 91-90 at Tiger Arena here in the city of Savannah. The Tigers are now 3-1 in conference.
Look good, but so much for that undefeated season you was talking about.
Well, you're talking about the undefeated conference season. You're correct. The game that they did lose was by 1 point, and I know an L is an L. 1 point to the team favored to win the conference overall at the buzzer.
Ooh, that's ugly.
Yes, but it shows promise.
Yes, absolutely. You take the preseason number 1 team in the conference.
Preseason
and
number
you
1
lose
team
by 1 at the buzzer.
They were voted by the coaches to win the conference this year.
Hey, look. Now take that and run with it.
What you mean?
Take it and run with it. We took the number 1 preseason team to the limit, and we lost by a buzzer beater.
They should have beat them. We had 2 turnovers in the last 30 seconds. That cost the game, honestly. And they still had a shot to win it, but couldn't make the winning 3. But the Tigers are getting it done. The head is nice and shiny. Thank you, Michael Kearney. I see you checking in, old Georgia fan. I see you checking in, Mike. Appreciate the love,
man. Yeah, buddy. You buffed it good today.
I did. I got a job interview, so I got to have the gloss on shine today.
Oh, God.
But let's go through some scores from around the MEAC from Monday night's action, as a lot of games are played on Mondays and Saturdays now for the MEAC and the SWAC. The MEAC and the SWAC, folks, if you don't know, are the HBCU conferences in the United States for Division I basketball, football, and athletic sports. But some scores. Bethune-Cookman beat Stetson on Monday night, 74-62.
That used to be a Cologne back in the day.
This guy. Morgan State, number 1 team, number 1 favorite, fell to North Carolina Central, 77-63. Low scoring affair for the Bears at Morgan State. 63 points. They're usually averaging about 80 points a game. Delaware State lost to Florida A&M 94-89.
That's a double overtime. That was a battle.
Yeah, it was a great game. This is a big one, though. Elizabeth City State, Division II. Elizabeth City State beats Norfolk State, perennial powerhouse in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, 76-67 at Norfolk State.
Look, everybody's susceptible to getting beat this year. How many upsets have we seen in college basketball this year?
You had
everybody
in the
can
top
get
25,
this work.
You had 6 in the past weekend, but we're going to talk about that in a second too. Let's
And
finish
Michael
up these MEAC
Kearney, I
scores.
got something for you.
North Carolina A&T beat Coppin State. Quay Lardy's team, former player at Armstrong State University. Quay Lardy does play for the North Carolina A&T Aggies, so we will look forward to seeing him when he does make his return back to Savannah. I might have to give him some love. He's in the starting
You're
lineup.
gonna try that, man. That's what you.
No, I'm not.
I
I always give the people that are from the area. I always give. He only played 2 minutes though, so I don't think we're going to see him too much. Wow, no love for Quay Lardy on the line. 2 minutes, 0 for 1, 0 for 1, and all zeros. That's a tough day.
Hey, how many minutes did he play? 2?
All 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I'd take a bunch of zeros, too. I only played 2 minutes, Coach. What you expect me to do?
It sounds like he got in at garbage time at the end of the game.
Might be.
That's unfortunate because the kid can play and he can jump out the gym. Should have came to Savannah State, Quay, but, we all make our mistakes.
See.
Congratulations to you. South Carolina State beat Maryland Eastern Shore 66-62. And, of course, like we said, Savannah State over Howard behind Alante Fenner, who put up 50% from the field over the weekend between Saturday and Monday. 27 points this past Monday and hit the winning bucket, double-double on Monday night.
I like it.
The kid can play. He's a little selfish now.
That's something you can't be.
He's a little selfish now. He's got to learn how to spread the ball sometimes. But when you're that guy, as Evan would say, when you're that guy, you're the number one scorer, you have to be the one to initiate offense. And that's what he does. So credit to Alante Fenner, also on Twitter as at the Almighty Uno. But I'll tell you, Howard's got a guard. He's a freshman, R.J. Cole, and they got another kid, C.J. Williams. They're both freshmen. These kids, the two-man combo essentially ran Howard's University's team. R.J. Cole put up 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. The kid was unstoppable.
That's a good stat line.
Unstoppable. Oh, his cohort, 27 points. C.J. Williams, 27 points on 10 for 17 shooting.
7 for 10 from 3.
Yes.
My goodness.
Lights out. Cole was 5 for 12.
70%.
Lights out. And that was all they had was those two players. That was it.
It really is.
That was it.
What's his name?
Ibrahim Dusunmu put up 10 points for Howard. I was 5 for 6. They had some
3 people in double figure. What Savannah State look like? I didn't see that.
A whole lot better.
See, well, you had 3 people in double figures, too. Just a little bit spread out a little bit more.
Well, Dexter McClanahan put up 22 for the Tigers. As we said, Alante Fenner put up 27. Austin's descent with 12. Majority of that 12 in the first half. He came out hot and led the Tigers charge at the beginning of the game. And they had to hang on now. But I tell you, the player to look out for when it comes to Savannah State hoops is old number 2, Releke Orizu. They call him Sticks. He's 6'8", freshman, still growing. The kid could jump out the gym.
Well,
3 for 4
from the 6'8", you better be able to jump out the gym.
3 for 4, and all 3 of those were dunks, and I mean monster dunks. It was nasty.
Hey, listen, it ain't checking if you got it.
It was fun to watch.
Now, one thing I will say, look at the prior game that Savannah State won.
Okay.
The last game, which was Maryland Eastern Shore.
Yep.
And we talked about that, the 3-point shooting for State, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Not saying Maryland Eastern Shore is on anything of Howard's level. Not saying that. So, Maryland Eastern Shore, they went, drop it. Third.
Maryland Eastern Shore shot 21% from the 3-point line.
I'm talking about Savannah State.
Savannah State shot 31.3,
15 for 48. It's still a lot, but hey, you win 87-59. Now let's move forward to Howard. What are we looking like as far as Howard's 3-point shooting against Howard? I saw?
Monday night's matchup, Howard shot 46% on 14 for 30 from behind the arc. Savannah State shot 7 for 42. Still won the game. Now, if they had hit more threes, it would have been a blowout.
Yeah, you still
and we noted that 7 minutes to go, they stopped shooting threes at one point in the second half.
But 16 for 20 from the free throw line is clutch.
Yes, but you got to imagine if they hit 4 or 5 more threes, this would have been a blowout. They would have been a 15-point win.
Maybe.
7 for 42. They averaged 30% from the 3-point line. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. Well, if you come back and hit a 3, there's no telling what Howard would have came back and done on the other end. So maybe.
That's true.
Maybe.
Well, the Tigers welcome Hampton University to town, a big alumni base here in Savannah. For the Pirates of Hampton University, tip-offs at 4 o'clock for the women's game, 6 o'clock for the men's game. We're not going to talk about the women's game Monday night for Savannah State. which means you can read through the music on that one. But
Come on, man.
4 o'clock, 6 o'clock this Saturday. It's 80s and 90s night at Tiger Arena.
Kid and play.
It's gonna be fun.
Crisscross.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
You gonna wear cross colors?
I'm wearing my Savannah State polo, and the band will be there, so I'll probably have my band jacket on like I'm wearing now, the nice Nike band jacket that we have. Wait, SSU band. There you go. And it is recruiting season, so all my recruits that are watching this video, hey, I'll be calling you soon.
Come on, man. You got to break out the cross-colored pants, bro, and wear them backwards. It's 90s, bro.
So let's talk about Marvin Bagley and his return at Miami after popping his shoulder back in.
Man,
the kid can play. This kid is a stud.
Listen, this is my team. Isaiah Thomas, injured ankle, NBA Finals. God, I can't think of his name. Played for the Knicks, got hurt and came back in. Can't think of his name right now. But
Paul Pierce did it. He
Yeah.
did. Paul Pierce did it.
Paul Pierce also got brought down to his knees by Joe Johnson. But we're not going to talk about that. Marvin Bagley Jr. is the truth.
Kid can play.
And then we're not even going to talk about Gary Trent Jr. going 7 for 9 from 3. Man, see, I could talk all day about my Blue Devils. I could also talk all day about how North Carolina struggled against Clemson. But those are my boys, man. We good. Everybody, and we're going to get Zion Williamson. He's in the top 2.
You think so? You think he's going to do? I don't think he fits in the scheme of plays.
He's in the top 2. He's got 6 schools looking after him, and Kentucky and Duke are 1-2.
I just don't see him fitting into that offense, though.
Hey, you get in.
He's a one and done,
in.
so he's going to Kentucky.
Well, everybody on our team is basically a one and done. Gary Trent's a one and done. Marvin Bagley's a one and done. Wendell Carter is a one and done. Bring Zion because we're gonna lose everybody this year.
We're gonna see. Let's look at some top 25 scores from around the NCAA and men's basketball. Number 3, Purdue beat Wisconsin in Big Ten action, 78-50. Purdue's 18-2 on the season.
Purdue's
7-0 in the Big Ten.
Purdue's got these Edward boys. Listen. Studs.
Yeah, they got some
Studs.
talent. Upset of the week so far. Trae Young and Oklahoma go down 69-87 to Kansas State.
Yeah, man. Come on, man.
Kansas State 3-3 in the Big 12. Oklahoma now 4-2, and they're still sitting at the 4 seed.
Man, college basketball is not this year. College basketball has turned the corner.
I agree.
Anybody
Game
can
has
win
changed.
at any time. There's no Kansas's Big 12 conference dominance is in question right now.
So can we say a mid-major will win the tournament?
No.
Who wins the tournament? Don't say Duke. If Duke doesn't win the tournament, who wins the tournament?
Man, listen,
A mid-major.
no.
I'm calling it. A mid-major wins it this
A
year.
mid-major like who?
Well, any mid-major. A
Any
big
mid-major?
time. Let's see what the. Well, matter of fact, we can look at the projections right now. Oh, they don't have this year's projections up yet.
I haven't.
I wish they. Oh, they do. They have the schedule up though, so we can look forward to some things.
If I have to pick somebody to win a national championship, it's either one of maybe 3 teams. Maybe Villanova, Duke, maybe Michigan State. But I'm not knocking Purdue either.
Okay, I could see Purdue winning it, and Purdue's considered a mid-major. Purdue's not a power. They're in a power conference.
Purdue isn't a power conference.
They're in a power conference, but they're not considered a power team.
But if you're in a power conference, you're not a mid-major.
Butler.
Butler's a mid-major.
What conference are they in?
Butler's a mid-major. East Tennessee State's a mid-major. VCU was a mid-major. Mercer was a mid-major.
Now you said East Tennessee State. Why mention them?
I was
Are
thinking
they
about
making a run this year?
I don't know. I was thinking about somebody. I was thinking about that run that they had a few years ago. What's the team? The running gun. They
Florida Gulf Coast.
There you go. That's a mid-major. Anybody like
Sunbelt.
yeah, anybody like that. That's a mid-major. But
So
anybody
no Big Ten, no ACC,
no Big Ten,
SEC.
no ACC, no SEC, no Big 12, no
Pac-12?
Pac-12, nothing like that.
Okay, we're gonna see. Cincinnati, number 12 in the country, over UCF. Cincinnati is in the American Conference.
Yeah,
mid-major. That's a major team. Cincinnati's
Cincinnati's
Kenyon Martin. That's a major team.
They not Power 6. Put it that way.
They're
So I
not
guess
Power
that
6,
would
but
make them
Cincinnati, when it
mid-major?
comes to college basketball, is a major
Yeah,
program.
of course. Yes.
And over Central Florida. Central Florida's got a good squad as well. Clemson Clemson lost to North Carolina. I apologize. 87-79 final score. Number 15 North Carolina against number 20 Clemson.
North Carolina is not what we're used to seeing this year.
I agree, but we're going to see.
All.
Everything changes come tournament time. Kentucky, biggest or second largest upset of the night. Number 18 Kentucky falls to South Carolina. Frank Martin and South Carolina get it done, beating Kentucky.
Chris Silva is a beast. He's a monster, dude.
Carolina's 3-3 in the SEC. Kentucky's 4-2 in the SEC. It's any given day, man. Anybody can get it these days.
Man, listen, this is what we've been waiting on. We are tired. We're tired of Kansas ruling the Big 12.
Kentucky.
We're tired of Kentucky almost going undefeated. We're tired of, we want to see something new, and we're getting it with big teams going down early. We're used to, and Virginia's another team, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We're used to seeing these big teams just run the table. They maybe get like one upset loss, but these teams are losing 2, 3, 4 games in conference.
Mm-hmm.
This is something we're not used to seeing, and it's great for the game because now when you fill out that bracket, those teams that you would normally say, oh, nah, now you got to be like, maybe this is possible. I like this game. Filling out brackets this year is going to be so different, and I really doubt, that little –
nobody's going to win that.
Yeah, that little competition they do. They have the perfect bracket
or
the closest. Nobody's going to win that this year.
Almost impossible.
Right.
Almost impossible.
Well, it's almost impossible to do it anytime.
Oh, I agree.
But now definitely no.
Speaking of impossible, though, let's talk about something I never thought was going to happen. Andrew McCutchen traded from the Pittsburgh Pirates to the San Francisco Giants.
Big pickup for the Giants.
Great pickup for the Giants as we get closer and closer to baseball season.
Especially seeing what the Pirates got for it.
Yes. It's I never thought I would see that happen. Andrew McCutchen was the face of the brand.
Yeah, he was.
For years. Stud, consistent production. Now he's a Giant.
He's a Giant.
Now they're with Buster Posey. And
listen,
that's going to be something they're going to have. They might regret that.
Who?
The Pirates. They might
they
regret
regret
that
it right
move.
now. Unless they're going to get one of these farm system studs to come out like we did with Aaron Judge and Gregorius and everything. But when you look at it from a different aspect, McCutchen's time in Pittsburgh was kind of coming to an end. The same thing with not comparing. Just saying it's kind of like the same thing with Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken was the face of the Baltimore Orioles in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you had to move on. Times change. You have to make moves, try to get new faces in there. So I'm thinking this was like one of those situations where, McCutchen, we appreciate you, but we think at this time it's time that we get some fresh faces in here and try to – it more or less might not be to improve the team, but it's a building process.
Well, we're going to see what happens because that's a major move in the offseason. Of course, there's been a lot of major moves made. Giancarlo Stanton goes to the Yankees. Now Andrew McCutchen moves. And I have a feeling we're going to see some more moves before the season cranks up, before camp starts.
Well, we see pitchers
and catchers report in the next 20 days.
Right. Well, we see the rumors about Bryce Harper in Chicago. So, that if the Cubs weren't good already.
Washington's smarter than that.
It depends on who you can get now. Any move can be made now.
The Nationals need to keep that roster together. They made a run last year. They made a run the year before. Keep it together. This is the year. And I'm not just saying that because I'm from the area and they're my second favorite team. Just to keep the team together. Keep the team. Now, I'd love to see the Mets make a run this year, but I think we're going to have a better chance of seeing Washington make a run. Speaking of the Mets, Michael Conforto is expected to return in May when in the middle of the season as he's returning from shoulder surgery. Conforto, former Savannah Sandnat.
Yes,
now New York Met, joins Dominic Smith, Gavin Caccini, and so many other guys that were former Sandnats that we know. And the Major League roster this year, and we'll look forward to see the 40-man roster because the Mets were depleted with injuries last year. So we'll look forward to see who gets to stay on the roster this year and who gets sent back down to AAA. And
this is the thing. As much grief as I gave you about the Mets this year, this is kind of sport where teams could just jump from the bottom and go straight to the top. I mean, look at perfect example, Jacksonville in football, 3 wins last year. Now they're in the AFC Championship. So anything is possible. All the stars align and the planets align and the moon moves in front of the sun and things like that. Anything can happen. So don't count any team out. before the first game.
Well, see, New York, the problem with the Mets last year was pitching. We've got to get our pitching and our bullpen solidified. Matt Harvey had a terrible season last year. And you had injuries to Syndergaard, injuries to Matz. We got to get Matzy healthy. Got to.
Yeah.
We got to get Steven Matz healthy. He's had an injury every year. And you know, looking at the 40-man roster, or looking at the active roster as of right now, you've got some seasoned players on there. You still got DeGrom. You still got Familia as your closer. You got Chris Flexen, former Savannah Sandnat.
Right.
Gazelman, former Sandnat. Lugo, former Sandnat. Matz. You got a whole bunch of former Sandnats that we know can burn.
Yeah.
We know they can do it. These guys just got to stay healthy, and they're going to have Matt Harvey, or you trade Matt Harvey. That's one or the other.
Who you get Matt Harvey for?
Some prospects. Some pitching prospects. Because the bat is there. I mean, you got solid hitting. Look behind the plate. Nito, Plawecki, and Arnaud, all former Sandnats.
Yeah.
This is interesting to see how they ended up the season. But I think everything's going to be based off defensively. It's going to be based off of Lagares' glove. He's going to have to step it up and be that guy this year.
I agree. But, I mean, like I said, these things happen. Injuries happen. You're going to have losing seasons. But one of these seasons is going to be the season where you break out. So, hopefully, well, in your case, hopefully, this will be the season. But I know we'll be good.
Well, see, this is the season that I hope that we see one Luis Guillorme make his way up to the major league roster. This kid is fun. It's fun to watch play. He went viral last year for the flying bat, the bat catch. Yes, the flying bat that came towards the Mets dugout when everybody ran. He didn't flinch. He just grabbed the bat out of thin air with his shades on and kept chewing his sunflower seeds like nothing was wrong.
You sure it was sunflower seeds?
It was sunflower seeds. He doesn't smoke.
You sure?
But yes, quite a few. It's fun for us to sit here and look at the Mets roster because we know so many of these players. We've got to spend time with so many of these players when they were in single A ball, from Dominic Smith to Brandon Nimmo, Michael Conforto. All of these guys were Savannah Sandnats right here in the city of Savannah just a few years ago. Ahmed Rosario. It's I remember Dominic Smith. We actually got to spend a lot of time with his father. When he was in Savannah. And now he's a Major League Baseball player. But, they forget about the little folks when they go big.
Really? Did you just have a moment? Really?
I talked with Dom the other day on Twitter, so everybody's doing well. And shout out to all of our former Sandnats players that are on the Major League roster. That's the end goal. They made it.
Right.
That's the
That's
everybody doesn't make it from single A all the way up.
No, they don't.
A la Stephen Sable. So.
Whoa, pause.
It's true.
Man.
I believe he's still in Double A. Tim Tebow, still in Double A.
Yeah, but
if he didn't get released.
Tim Tebow's got a career, though. If he decides to quit baseball, he's got a career.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, so he's good.
So we'll see. We have 15 minutes left here on the air. We're going to take a quick break here and to play one of these little commercials that we got. It is birthday month here at Ritzy's, and they're one of our biggest sponsors. They have a big 90s birthday. It's birthday month. It's the owner's Chantel's birthday this month. She's having a big 90s birthday party January 27th. You guys want to make sure you get out there and help her celebrate. And I might pop out there as well as she's talking about adding my birthday celebration to the party.
I'd like to see her attire for her birthday.
We'll be back.
Oh, boy.
Folks, this is Sean Brown from The Sean Brown Show, and when I think of good food and good drinks, I can only think of Ritzy's Lounge on the south side of Savannah at 11414 Abercorn Street. They give you the best of both worlds, and they've got all kinds of stuff going on all week long. So make sure you get out there and support Chantel and the best bartenders in the city, hands down. Get out there. We'll see you Wednesday nights, folks. Wild Out Wednesdays only at Ritzy's Lounge, brought to you by The Sean Brown Show with JP, and our stamp of approval's on it. So we're telling you, folks, good food, good drinks. Put them on the Ritz. We'll see you there.
This is Sean Bolden, drummer for Grammy Award-winning Estelle. And turn up the radio for Sean Brown Show with JP.
That's right. This is the Sean Brown Show on WQTS Digital Broadcast. Hope you guys have been enjoying it today's show. It's a little bit off-brand. We don't have all three of us here, so you don't get all the good details, but you get some good discussion.
Evans Davis is slipping.
Sports. Evans is out handling some business, just like I'm about to be handling business. That's why I'm in a suit and tie. So we'll definitely catch Evans back here on Friday, and we hope you guys join us back here. I'll probably be a little hungover, but I'll be here. Birthday tomorrow, so gotta have a little fun.
Friday's gonna be good. Yeah.
I'll have.
Don't try to cover up with coffee and water.
No, I've
brother.
got some good Mama Juana from Dominican Republic sitting in there, and I said Mama Juana, folks, to get that right. It's the Dominican.
You said it right the first
It's
time.
the Dominican drink that I enjoy. It's gonna be fun to have. But folks, it's 15 minutes to the hour. That's right, quarter to the hour on Wednesday. We weren't here Monday, so that means today you get our favorite segment. It's time to what? It's time to stop the bus, brought to you by Ritzy's Lounge on the south side of Savannah, 11414 Abercorn Street. They're the place to go, the place to be, and you want to be there tonight because it's Wild Out Wednesday, seafood night, karaoke night, and, of course, they're going to have all the basketball games on. Empire's not on anymore. Is Empire on? Empire's not on. So they're not going to have Empire on. We caught up on it. I'm slow. My bad. It's time for our Stop the Bus. My Stop the Bus today, and I'm sure JP can agree with me on this. I am tired, exhausted, irritated. Can't believe that in the year 2018, we have politicians with amnesia. Politicians that can't remember things that are said in meetings by the most powerful man in the United States. It baffles me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't understand it. It's deplorable. And if we as individuals and we as the tax-paying citizens of the United States do not get into an uproar about this situation, it's going to be allowed to continue. Senator Booker in the committee yesterday, when he was interviewing the Department of Homeland Security chair or the secretary, he made a very valid point. And I'm sure everyone has seen this. If you haven't seen this, this is the point. When you mix power with bigotry, you run into chaos. It's pure chaos. And right now we have people that are complicit in allowing the president of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, if he says jump, everybody says how high. You're allowing him to express blatant bigotry and not calling him to the carpet for it. And then conveniently forgetting what the man said, but you remember what everyone else said in the office. It's beyond my understanding.
It's selective memory time, brother.
It's appalling that we as the American people have to sit and watch this and see this go down when they're supposed to be representing us. I get it. I understand that people voted for Donald Trump as a fresh face, somebody who wasn't connected to politics that might bring something different in. But if someone doesn't get control of this man's mouth, please get control of this man's mouth. Take his Twitter away. He has to have somebody controlling his PR. The office of the President of the United States is not a reality TV show. Mr. President,
life.
Please stop the bus.
Stop the bus. Hey, come on, man. Let's be honest. When are we going to... This man called nations that have aligned themselves with us and given us resources at times that helped our country. And call them a what?
The sugar, honey, iced tea, whole countries. But I will say this, and I will say this, as someone that has been to Haiti, I've been to Haiti. I was there at Haiti after the earthquake. It is not America. It's not a inner city area. But it's not the place of the President of the United States to make the comment that he made, whether it's true or not. The language that he used referring to it is absolutely deplorable. If you're going to talk about a third world country, first of all, they're third world. They're expected to be in those conditions because they're a third world country. How about talk about how we can help them move up? Why do we still have third world countries at this day and age? How can we not assist these people?
Too many resources out there.
Exactly. But we can't even get enough resources down to Puerto Rico to help rebuild our own people. People still don't have power in Puerto Rico.
You talking to the choir. I made all of these points last week. Let's just go ahead and call a spade a spade. We put the wrong man in office.
We did.
So,
we did. And,
you know,
I'm gonna be transparent. I voted for him because I could not vote for Hillary. I could not bring myself to vote for Hillary Clinton because of my military ties, and I know what she did in the Benghazi situation. If she did that, then she would do it again. But I never dreamed that this man would do the things that he's doing. You know, I believe in our system of checks and balances, but someone is not checking and someone's not balancing this situation with the President of the United States. It's just not happening. People are allowing him to do what he wants, when he wants, how he wants, and they're not checking him for it.
And they're not going to.
Then he's got to go. He's got to go.
You expect somebody to stand up and still be able to keep their job
Keep
security?
their job.
No.
And you have in government, you have to have a standard of morals. If you cannot rely on your own morals and what is right and what is wrong, even if you're working for the President of the United States, money is great. Money. The press secretary makes over $110,000 a year. I get it. The money is good, but is job security okay with stepping over the morals that you have as an individual?
People ain't thinking about that when them checks come running in. Everybody that's living and breathing that's an adult got these little gimmicks that come in every month called bills. They're not really. They sit there and they say, if I can make $110,000 a month. F morals.
Okay, and I understand that. I get that. Second topic. Why do we have a Secretary of Homeland Security that has never served in any kind of military?
Man, we saw that coming in. How many people are in his cabinet that have no idea what they're doing?
Linda McMahon. What?
No, but Linda was there before
she was around before that. But so was this young lady. This young lady worked for the Department of Homeland Security before as well. But my point is, how can you be over Homeland Security and you have no idea what security of how to run security?
It's the same thing with Betsy DeVos. How you put her over education and she's stupid?
Dummy. She's a big dummy. Now it's
Shut up, dummy.
The situation we're in is it's a terrible situation, and the world sees it.
Well,
One of the
comments enough to make a change. Put it that way. These what do they call them?
But
laws of impeachment.
As Americans, there's not enough people that want to step up and make a change. Because if you look at the violence that's going on, and the senators pointed this out yesterday as well. If you look at the list of violence that's gone on since 2012, 73% of violent terroristic acts in America are done by white supremacists. And nobody says anything about it.
I didn't know that.
Nobody says a word about it. They don't stand up and say, okay, enough is enough. They don't chase them down. Americans are being killed by white supremacists, and no one's doing anything about it. People live in fear on a daily basis. We grew up in fear of white supremacists, knowing that, okay, when I came to freshman year in college, 2004, I was told, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this because you have a risk of being hung. I'm being completely 100% transparent. You will get hung. This is Georgia. You cannot date a girl outside, a girl of lighter complexion. You can't date a white girl in Georgia.
That's true.
I remember driving through Forsyth County, Georgia in 2004. I had to duck down so I couldn't be seen because I was a passenger in a car driven by a white person in Forsyth County. Because they would stop us and they would take me out.
It's true.
When is enough enough, ladies and gentlemen? When are we going to fix this? When are we going to stand up as a people and say, enough, we want change?
That's what you guys thought you were getting putting this man in office. And the ones that knew better knew that wasn't going to happen. It's the wolf in sheep clothing
exactly.
aspect. You say everything that sounds good to the people, and then when you get in the position to where they can't do nothing about it, then you bring your own agenda in. All of this stuff that he was saying just to get in office, he hasn't done any of it. And you guys fell into the trap. Oh, this man's bringing change. Oh, he's a celebrity, and he's do different things.
He's done
Ignorance
good for business.
Is bliss.
Commerce is up. But everything else is falling apart. Business is booming.
What you expect?
Business for America is booming, but America is failing right now as a people.
So what's more important?
Oh no, the people should be the important thing. It's
Well,
great
then
to
why
have
put a
finances coming in.
businessman-
You're putting money in the pockets of people that are already rich, money in the pockets of people that are in the right lanes, just like our friend Ben Adams.
Yes.
People that take advantage of the opportunities. He's making opportunities available. I get that. That's great. It's wonderful to see. But at the same time, you're doing more negative than you're doing positive, and the president cannot do that. If you look at Obama's 8 year in office, how many scandals did he have?
None.
How many complaints of sexual assault did he have?
None. You're
How
not
many
going to
times
get that.
did he
You're not going to
offend-
get that from a black president.
Exactly.
Sorry.
How many times did he offend other countries?
None.
I don't understand. Obama, can you come back, please?
No. Put Michelle in there.
Somebody go.
And this is the never mind. I'll let you finish.
I'm glad you said Michelle.
I'll let you finish.
Did you see Michelle's beach picture the other
Yes,
day?
I did.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Anyway,
Sorry.
come on back. you okay? Man, get off the floor, man. Come on. Is that her texting you now?
No, it's not. It's not. It's my church. Speaking of my church, shouts out to my good people at Savannah Deliverance Center, 2115 Barnett Street. Pastor Moore, Mother Moore. We got to get you guys in here as well. We're enjoying ourselves lately. Big things on the horizon.
Definitely.
We're making moves, making progress forward, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited for the moves that we're making as a church. I had to segue. I'm glad I got that text because it allowed me to segue away from the Michelle Obama comment I was about to make.
I was so bad to go back to it too. that was part of mine, but
we got 3.5 minutes left here on the air, folks, and I know people across America are talking about what we just discussed. It is a hot topic item. It's not going away until it's resolved. I just want the truth to come out these days.
Can I do mine since I got 3
go
minutes
ahead,
left?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make this real quick.
It's time to stop.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said. Seeing the person we have in office right now, come election time in 2020, we cannot be prejudiced and be judgmental about who we put in office. Right now, we're at the bottom of where our country needs to be at. We're at the bottom of the barrel. Things are going bad.
Relationship-wise.
Yeah. Don't be prejudiced just because a lady runs. Okay, we understand Hillary Clinton ran against Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton's had a lot of scandal. But if Michelle decides to run in 2020, if Oprah decides to run in 2020, if Halle Berry decides to run in 2020, don't be prejudiced just because it's a woman, because that just shows your stupidity. Anything is better than where we are now.
And not just because she's black either.
Thank you. Okay, Jennifer, and let's throw some Caucasian people in there that I'm trying not to be celebrity.
Rice.
Man, listen, if Ellen DeGeneres ran for president, you think she'd win? Yeah.
Yeah. Because Ellen is about the people. Ellen understands
This
that
is what
she
we
cares
need.
about people.
We need people we need a president that cares about people. Money is going to come regardless.
Business is going to happen.
If we thought about the people more and you got more people to support you, then your job will be easier. And you won't have to worry about money coming in, because if you're nice to people, people will be nice to you. They will fund your campaign. They will put money toward charities that you support. They will do all of this. All you have to do is sit back, cross your legs, and cross your arms and say,
and sign documents.
That's it. That's all Obama did. Obama came in there, and every speech he had, he wasn't too serious, but he wasn't too funny. It was a mixture of both. He knew how to put a funny little crack in there, just to break the monotony, or if that's what you want to say. But he was serious in the facts that what he was trying to do. But he put a lighter side to it, which made the people easier in being confident. His confidence rate between the people was sky high in his last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because he knew how to deal with the people. That's number one. Number two, only got 55 seconds left. Shout out to my Hawkins family losing Edwin, man. That's a great loss in gospel. I don't even know if you knew that. Did you know that?
Edwin Hawkins died?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
If you don't know who that is, that's the dude that sang "Oh Happy Days," Sister Act.
Wow.
He wrote that song.
Wow.
So it's a lot, and they just lost Walter last year.
Wow.
So shout out to them, man. I'm a big gospel fan, so that's why I said that. But shout out to them. Prayers out to you guys in California, Hawkins family, man. We definitely lost a gospel giant yesterday.
Yeah. Much love to my good friend Leanne Torini as well. She just lost her grandmother Prayers to everyone that's out there suffering and struggling. This too shall pass. Look for the sunrise that's coming on the horizon.
I got something to cheer you up, though.
The fact that they can find us on 5 different platforms.
Absolutely.
You folks, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook Live, the TuneIn app, speakingthemic.com, WQTSradio.com, and I'm missing one. Let's see. Wait, that was
the
5.
TuneIn app.
The TuneIn app. Yeah, I got them all.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't forget, catch us in the mix tomorrow.
Yes.
12 o'clock right here. I will be live from 12 to 1, giving you the best of music and the best of sports.
And we'll be back Friday, and hopefully Darkness will be here with us.
We'll see. This has been our show, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys right back here tomorrow. YouTube and Facebook Live. We don't have Facebook Live for our mix, so make sure you guys tune into YouTube, WQTSradio.com.
Share the video, people.
Or the TuneIn app to catch the mix tomorrow. We'll see you then. Peace, love, and chicken grease. We are gone.
Holla.
Listen, SB with the truth, it might pitch your mind. And JP hit you with reality all the time. The way to keep it all the way 100, it should be a crime. Sports, news, politics, on the show you will find. Conversation grown, opinions, they're not alone.
Shout out to everybody watching. Drew, Terrell, I see you, big fella.
It is what it is, gonna be what it's gonna be. You are rocking with the Sean Brown Show with JP.
And Evans Davis.